Hi everyone, welcome. So grateful to have you all. How's everybody doing? My sincere apologies, excuse me, for starting late. I really shouldn't have a time as to when I started. I changed my schedule just because I've been working on my app and my other my regular jobs work schedule changed. So I'm doing these today now. I'm just fixing my microphone. So I started recording videos. I woke up late because it's New Year's Day. I was like, who woke up late today? So happy New Year's, everybody. Happy 2025. I hope it's a prosperous year for all of you. And this year should be a great year. I can just feel it. Okay, looks like everybody's been chatting in the chat. Oh my gosh. Hi, Monkey Girl. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Brienne. How are you all? I'm so grateful you guys waited. Oh my gosh. You guys talk about Craven. Monkey Girl says, can't wait. Charlie says, me too. Oh, thank you guys. Sorry I started late. I'm so sorry. I hope you're still in the chat. Monkey Girl says, I saw Craven the Hunter. I actually liked it. Okay, I haven't seen Craven. He's so handsome. Oh my gosh. Aaron Taylor Johnson is so incredibly handsome. I cannot. So good looking. I want to see Nosferatu with them. I just want to see the credit. See edits of Craven. I haven't seen any. Okay. I hate seeing people hate Craven. Oh, because you like him so much. I get it. He's very, very good looking guy. So we're going to start off actually with Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. I did a video about them a while ago, and I can't remember what I said in the video actually. It's been a long time. I've done so many videos about so many different people. So we'll just see what the energy picks up on. I said I see a potential. I do remember. I said I see a potential other woman. I said that I see her nature, if I can remember correctly. I said that I see her nature being very Sam Taylor's energy, being very possessive, very controlling and possessive, which is the shadow side of Pisces. In fact, all these three couples have one of the partners in the couple, Sun and Pisces. So that's very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm going to start over them. I'm using the Lightspeed Tarot for it. I know, we'll get started. Oh, hi, Brienne. How are you? I'm so grateful you joined. Thank you so much for joining. You guys are so sweet to each other in chat, and that's what I love about this community. I wanted to create, rather than having thousands and thousands of, or millions of followers and stuff like that, I wanted to rather create a healthy community and a community of people that like genuinely want to learn, myself included. I want to learn from these situations. That's why I have it like that. I have it called like tarot, and we learn from different situations rather than just be about gossipy and stuff like that. I think the world is more inclined for gossip, and trust me, I love my gossip sometimes. But I think we're missing out on so much potential to learn from situations, particularly when it pertains to astrology and stuff like that. Hi, Tala. Is that how you say your name, Tala? It's a cool name. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a subscriber. Okay, so I think this is your first live, Tala, if I remember correctly. So let's start off with this couple. No. Let's see if they're first on the slideshow. I made a slideshow. I think they should be first, and I want to pull up the birth chart soon. Okay, yes. So Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson, people have a lot to say about them as a couple. I don't really like to judge. It's kind of creepy, I will say that. When I was 17, I dated a 28-year-old. And when I was 19 or 20, we met when I was 19, but we ended up being together when I was 20. I was 20. No, yeah, we met when I was 19. And I ended up being somebody like 13 years older than I was at that time. So I don't believe in age gaps don't really mean that much, but I do think I shouldn't have been with those older guys when I was 17 and stuff like that. I've just always liked older guys. But with that being said, I don't want to judge her because I don't know the full details. I think it does come across kind of weird, especially with the power dynamics. I think if the tails, like if the roles were reversed and she was the man, he was the woman, people would be looking at this with a side eye, big time. So I see both sides of people's arguments about it. I don't mean to be too diplomatic. I had somebody tell me the other day I'm like a great politician because I'm very diplomatic. And it's like, yeah. Okay, so let's look at her birth chart, and I'll reveal it right now. Okay, so her sun is in Pisces, her moon is in Sagittarius, her Venus is in Aries. Her north node is in Taurus, which is very interesting. It means her south node is in Scorpio, so very possessive, I think. The shadow side of Pisces too, because they're very possessive, and Venus in Aries, because they're both ruled by Mars. I got my cards. Hold on, guys. There. Oh, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Hi, guys. Happy New Year's. See you too. Yes, I agree with them. Monkey Girl says, I don't think it's the age gap that's the problem. It's how they met. Exactly. That's what I said. I think it's the power dynamic. You know, it's your boss, basically. I keep dropping my cards. What's going on with me? I'm just going to use another deck. This is a sign. So I'll use the Muse Tarot for this. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the overall energy. Pull up the overall energy. But I do sense some like possessiveness. I think there's something going on with it. Maybe that's why I keep dropping my cards energetically. I see her being frantic. Okay, so let's look at his birth chart really quickly too. Because I see her being frantic. I think he's wanted to leave the situation, not just now. I think many times before. I think they have one of those type of relationships. I couldn't have one of these types of relationships where the person, because for me, if you say you're out, you're out. You know, when somebody says I want to divorce you, that's it. Like that's divorce to me personally. But they have one of these dynamics energetically that I pick up is that, and I have a friend who's a Pisces too. She has this dynamic with the person she's with. So they're like, okay, we're gonna break up. And then it's like, okay, are you gonna really break up? But it was just talk, you know, which is not cool. I don't like that. I don't mean to blast my friend, but just keeping it real. Okay, so let's look at his birth chart. I know he's a sun in Gemini, I remember that. He is very good looking. My goodness. Woo! What's his rising? Oh, it doesn't say. If anybody knows his rising, if he's rising in Sagittarius, something like that, he's very good looking. So Sun in Gemini, Moon in Aquarius, interesting. Lots of Venus in Taurus. Explains a lot. Explains a lot. Hi Brianne, how are you? How was your New Year's Eve? Oh, I didn't really do that much. The last time, I was actually telling someone this yesterday. He was like, I hope you know your hangover. And I was like, I don't drink. So, not that you have to drink to go out, but it kind of changes my lifestyle. Not drinking, you know? So I don't drink. And that's like, it changes what I do. So I just did a meditation actually. It was so fun. I did a meditation. I wrote down my goals for 2025. I manifested this morning. I woke up and I manifested. So, well, when I woke up at 12. I woke up once at 7 because I usually wake up at 7 anyway. And then I went back to bed. And then I woke up again at 12. So I was like in and out of bed. So, yeah. And then I did my meditation. But yeah, it's fun. He said he was born midday, making him a Virgo. I love that you did your research. I love that. I absolutely love it. So, okay, so he's a Virgo ascendant, rising in Virgo. I'm supposed to, I don't know anymore, because I'm supposed to be rising in Virgo, but I feel like like a rising in Libra. That's what I feel like. I stayed in my PJs in the comfort of my home. Good for you, me too. And then I heard neighbors, because I live on a busy road, right? I live in Miami on a busy road. Thank goodness I don't live near South Beach, because that would be a mess. But I live on a busy road in a fairly residential area. So it was actually very quiet. It was quiet yesterday, it was quiet today. But I did start to hear fireworks and I was like, oh gosh. I don't like the sound of fireworks. But it's fine. I got good sleep. I went to bed at like what 1:30, 2 a.m. My birthday was happy belated birthday, Maki girl. Happy belated birthday. I just recorded a video about Capricorn, so you might not like. Don't take it personally, okay? Because I do the same for Chris, and I was telling Chris. I hope you had a great birthday. Okay, so the energy that I pick up is that she wants to push this image. You know, a lot of the images they've had of them being like a family type has come from her. And with Queen of Pentacles, she's been the one controlling the money. But now that he is leveraging up the money, there's room for him to no longer be around, for him to leave, you know? Oh, you're wearing Capricorn shirt right now? Good for you. I love that. My aunt's birthday was yesterday, so I love her so much. She's wonderful. So I hope you enjoy being a Capricorn. I have a love hate with Capricorns. My aunt, I love. That's why I mention it, because I love my aunt. Some Capricorns can be very stubborn. So with Three of Cups, I see them being kind of more like friends at this point than being romantic. And he, because of that, especially, I did say that his Venus is in Taurus. And Venus and Taurus are very loyal. Very loyal. But I do see other women in the picture. I do see him having the propensity and the possibility to cheat. I do see that very strongly. And she would go after the other woman. Let me see if this has happened. I see that being very potential. I don't understand why I've been cheated on, okay? And I did not go after the other woman. So low. Because a lot of people that cheat tend to be liars and they often give the other person a story, you know, they were unhappy, were separated, blah, blah, blah. But I do see him trying to leave at some point in the relationship. Yes, they do have children together, Tyler. They have 2 children, I believe, together. But allegedly, she cheated with him. So it's dicey. It's very dicey. But I can see, like, when he tries to leave, I do think I said this in my first video, that when he tries to leave, she gives him this sob story of like, we're meant to be together, don't leave me, how can you leave me, this is outrageous, that kind of thing. And it stopped him from leaving. 5 of Swords in reverse, the Justice card, 8 of Swords in reverse. There's going to be a divorce because he feels energetically, what I pick up, he feels like he can't speak his truth about situations. Like she becomes hysterical. You know, I see her being hysterical. I see her, which is shadow side of Pisces. Pisces can be very emotional. I've seen Pisces flip the F out over like a small thing. You know, I'm not saying every sign has light and shadow. Every sign has things that they need to work on. I've seen in some Pisces inner rage. And when things don't go their way, they start to act out. And I see that with her. I think when they start to have conversations about breaking up, stuff like that, she freaks the F out. And she's like, I risked my career for you. She does like the blame game, you know, and the guilt game. And that guilt game can only go for so long. So in the next 2 or 3 years, I see there being some kind of separation. But really, she loses it when she loses it when he says anything about, okay, maybe I want to tell you guys a quick story, okay? This is just a fun personal story. I know you guys in the live enjoy these stories, so I'm just going to tell you a story that I actually forgotten about until recently I remembered. We were talking about Libras, and I had this Libra ex where I think he might have Sun and Pisces. I never looked at his chart because I wasn't that into astrology at that time. But this reminds me of that story. So I had this ex, right? And I tried to break up with him a few times. People, when I say I tried to break up with him, people ask me, how do you try to break up with someone? You can't just break up with them. And I'm like, it was difficult because when I tried, so the first time I tried to break up with him, I said to him, because I noticed that he wasn't really over his ex, and I didn't really like that. I felt like they still, when we got together, he had freshly broken up with her. And I didn't like that too. I just felt like he needed time to get over her and then maybe we could be together. So I remember sitting him down one time, we went to dinner, and I said to him, let's break up for a year and then we'll see each other in a year. Or, we'll see what happens. And he freaked out. He stood up, he started screaming. Like everybody was looking at us and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. And he ended up calling his friend to come over to beg for me to stay with him. And it was just that kind of energy. I get that kind of energy that is very intimidating. People like this, I think they call it histrionic, right? In psychological terms. They make it almost impossible for you to leave, but they will leave you at some point. So I see every time he starts conversations about, okay, he's either going to have to do it in a very dirty way, get out of it very dirty way, or, and I think because he has kids with this person, like Tyler mentioned, that he has kids with her and he doesn't want these kind of people. The energy she gives me is very vindictive. If she doesn't get her way, she's going to cause a scene. And as somebody, I didn't have kids with this person, but we were together for a long time. One of the reasons is because I was fearful of breaking up with him, honestly. And we had friends, and it sounds silly, looking back, I'm like, that's so silly that I was afraid to break up with him. But literally, he would cause a scene, freak out, have tantrums if I even mentioned, like, the B word, But just say, like, let's take space, freak out. So I see that similar energy. Tyler says that sounds narcissistic. That sounds like a narcissist. I don't know if it's narcissistic. Some people have deep, in fact, most people have deep abandonment issues. I had my own abandonment issues that I had to heal. I spent years healing, because most people don't make good parents. They pass on those issues. So I see that being a major issue for them. That when he tries to break up with her, because he's initiated it a few times, she throws a fit. So let's see what the future holds for them. When will this divorce come to be? It's going to be very nasty. When it does happen, it's going to be extremely nasty. She's going to come out in the press and say horrible things about him. Okay, so I get October. Time is fluid. So it can change. It's because we have free will. Free will changes things. So I get October 2026. So yeah, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and Five of Cups in reverse. She doesn't want to be left alone. I'm telling you, she has abandonment issues. Deep abandonment issues. And if you've ever noticed people with abandonment issues, I was one of those people. I didn't force people to be with me, but I would fear being left. And if you've ever noticed people that have abandonment issues, they can't be alone, which is probably why she went from her last relationship to this one. Oftentimes they jump from relationship to relationship. I used to be like that. I used to jump from relationship to relationship just to fill a void. And she won't let him leave. My eye just got very itchy. I don't know why. But she won't let him leave. I'm telling you that. It's going to be a deep fight. But he's going to have to. He's going to get to the point like, what is happening to me? It's gonna be like kind of like a Free Britney thing, where the fans are going to be like, come like, not maybe not in protest, but the fans are really going to pound them down. And then he's going to start to see like, maybe I was groomed, maybe this did happen, maybe, he's going to start to question as an adult, like, this happened to me, that happened to me, I just thought it was okay. Also, British culture, I grew up in British culture, and it's not as open-minded as American culture. In certain aspects it is, like with politics it's more open-minded. When it comes to societal pressures, when it comes to psychology, when it comes to stuff like that, British culture is way behind American culture, in my opinion. And often things that happen, a lot of British culture is about, you just suppress it, don't talk about it, just suppress it, whatever. It happened to you, let it go. So I think he still has that mentality. He hasn't really processed. And she hasn't processed what's happened to her. But she did say, no, I'm just remembering. I saw a documentary that said her parents left her or something like that. But you can tell I get very strong abandonment issues. I even forgot about that. And I don't fully remember the story, but I see she has strong abandonment issues. That she's tied to him. And her identity is with him and being his wife. And when, like I said, when they start having conversations about it, she freaks out. Like, I see her throwing things. I see her like hysterically crying, like, "Don't leave me! Don't leave me!" That kind of thing, which is very, very sad. So I don't know if she's a narcissist, but I do see her having abandonment issues, which a lot of people have. It doesn't make you a bad person if you have them. Just don't make it other people's problem if you do. Especially if you're a child of divorce. I think a lot of children of divorce, we go through abandonment, and people forget about that their children in divorce. The parents they remember, but the children are forgotten about, and that forgetting creates abandonment issues. So it's very sad. That's why I've waited so long to have children. I want to do it the right way. I don't want my children to feel left out. I don't want my children to feel forgotten about. I want to have the means and emotional security to be a good parent. And only now do I feel like I'd be a good parent. Okay, so let's move on. If anybody has something to say about that, I'm going to move on to Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. I'm using the model which tarot for this. Let's look at the chart. I remember she's a Sun in Pisces. I actually have a video coming about her. I just recorded. I'm going to edit it. It will be out for members tomorrow, and it will be out next. I'm going to release it next Tuesday. I'm thinking 12 p.m. Eastern time. It says that's when most of you are active. It says like a lot of you are active around 12 p.m. So I'm going to do that. It's so cool looking at analytics. It's so refreshing. Okay, so Jessica Biel's chart. Okay, let's look at Jessica Biel's chart. Sun in Pisces. She's from Minnesota. Interesting. I used to love the show she was on. Remember Seventh Heaven? I forgot about Seventh Heaven. So good. So her sun is in Pisces, moon is in Gemini, Venus is in Aquarius, and her rising is in Sagittarius. Okay, he's also rising Sagittarius, from what I remember. It makes a lot of sense. That's why she has like an athletic physique. Let's look at his. So her North Node is in Virgo. No, excuse me, Capricorn. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's look at his. Hold on, Tala. I see your comment. I'm gonna answer it in just a moment. I just want to finish this part of the chart, and then I'll get back to you so I don't get sidetracked. So his sun is in Aquarius, his moon is in Sagittarius, his Venus in Capricorn, his rising is in Leo. Okay, very interesting. But for some reason, I thought his rising was Sagittarius. I could see his rising being Leo. I could see it very strongly, actually. Very, very strongly. So, what videos do you have coming out soon? I just did one on It Ends With Us. I did another Kendrick Lamar, Jessica Biel, Amber Heard, well, getting Scooter Braun. There's two others that I'm missing. Yeah, but they're coming out very soon. I'll edit it tonight. It'll be out tomorrow for you all. Okay, so let's go back to. So I just see here that there's very much this energy of. I see them not staying together. I'm even surprised the last of this one, but I always say this about Sun and Pisces. A lot of them stay in situations, relationships for way longer than they should. Just because it helps them come out as like a good guy, you know. So let's see. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, Queen of Cups, Page of Swords, Six of Cups. So she wants. This is what I say so much about Pisces. Pisces and Cancer. Pisces and Cancers need to be careful who they love because when they fall very hard. And when they fall, they oftentimes fall for people that do not have their best interests at heart. And they often fall for narcissistic type people because they have a lot of compassion and they want to look like the good person. They want to look like they have their life together. They want to look like, you know, it's like it's how it comes across to people. And because they have so much compassion and empathy, that compassion and empathy goes for everybody. And I have a feeling that she, Queen of Cups, you know, the emotional one, she has so much compassion and empathy for people, and she has compassion and empathy for him so much so that he can basically do no wrong because she'll just stay. She's very, very sad. I saw the biggest crush is just to make me too, girl, but now that all the news about him, I just get the ick. Me too. I have the biggest crush on him until the Janet Jackson thing, and then I was like, I don't like what he did. I don't like that he disappeared. He didn't say anything about Janet Jackson. He just defended himself. I don't know if you guys saw this video that I did about him a long time ago. I said that I didn't meet him, but I saw him in Soho at this restaurant I used to go to. And at the time, this was what, like 12 years ago? This was 12 years ago. Oh my gosh. Crazy. It was Hurricane Sandy time. So Hurricane Sandy was 2013, right? Yeah, it was 12 years ago. Wow. And it was around that time. It was the spring of that year. And I remember because I was sitting with my friend and we're waiting for my ex-boyfriend at the time to come in to meet us. And I saw he came in because I was waiting for my ex-boyfriend, so I kept looking at who was coming through the door. And then one person that came through the door was Justin Timberlake and a friend. I didn't recognize his friend. But he looked very young at the time. Well, he's like 43, right? So he must have been like 31. But he looked very young. He looked like he was in his 20s. But he just had like this arrogant attitude. But obviously, I was just looking at him, but energetically, I just got like arrogance, you know, like pompous. But sometimes Sun and Aquarius, I'm a fellow Sun Aquarius, we can come across pompous. So we do have that we need to work on. You can come across like arrogant. So I just got that vibe. And I just did cover a video about the pompous energy that we can translate or represent in It Ends With Us update that I'm so happy to share. Tomorrow it'll be up for members, and I think next week sometime it'll be up for, obviously, I think maybe Sunday or Monday for the public. So yeah. Anyway, so I see here that she gives a lot to him, a lot, and It's to the point that she sacrifices so much for herself. But I do see, oh my gosh, Ten of Wands, King of Wands, and Ten of Cups. I do see something coming, and I'm going to elaborate. I do elaborate on it in the video that I just did of her. So stay tuned, because I do elaborate a lot on it, on what's going to happen. She's going to find the strength to move on, and it has to do with the movie role. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys about them. Okay, I'm going to move on to last but not least, the couple of the holiday season, Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. So let's read the chat. I know he's a son of Pisces, right? And she's a sun in Cancer, 2 water signs. Wow. Very interesting. So let's see. Her full chart. I think she has some Leo. So her sun is in Cancer, her moon is in Aries. So her rising is in Leo, I knew it. And her Venus is in Leo too. Interesting. Wow. Explains a lot actually about her Venus being in Leo. You love them together? Interesting. So let's see. Oh no. Sorry guys. Yeah, Selena Gomez is cool. I like her vibe a lot. I don't know her obviously personally. I just like that she tells her fans to leave people alone if she feels like they're bothering them. You know? Okay, so Sun is a Pisces, Moon is a Scorpio. His Sun is in Pisces, Moon is in Scorpio, Venus is in Taurus, and I can't find his rising. But his North Node being in Pisces, my North Node is also in Pisces. Hi Penelope, how are you doing? Thank you for joining this live. Penelope says, I like the name Penelope, by the way, it's a strong name. When can we expect Harry Styles and Hope Black Wolf reading? Is there something about Hope Black Wolf that I don't know? Oh, is that the one that you think is this mystery woman that I'll be doing on? Soon I'll go back to regular programming in the next 2-3 weeks, and then I'll be doing Harry Styles videos again. So please be patient. I will have them out soon. I just needed to give that a break. Okay, so that's the one you think is, because I have seen some comments. Some of you think it's someone named Hope Black Wolf. So we'll see. They are odd, but work for now. You mean those two? Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's see the energy. So they just got. I'm using the Pixel Select Tower, by the way. And they just got engaged. So let's see. No problem, no rush. Oh, thank you for saying that. Thank you, I appreciate that. Some people love to nag me, and I can't stand being nagged. Okay, so let's see. The general energy. So guys, I don't go by what's popular, the opinion. I go by what the energy tells me and what the tarot tells me. So let's see. Okay. Not so good news, guys. 6 of Wands, the Emperor, 7 of Swords. So as much as I want love for Selena, I want love so much for her, it's not the right time for her. And it's almost like she's forcing it. And I've been there before, trust me. And when I was 31, I tried to force being with somebody that gives me similar energy to this guy. I don't think he means well. He's going to kind of hurt her. And the Emperor doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. The Emperor just knows what he wants. And he knows that he wants certain goals in his life. But I don't think the 7 of Swords, he's ready for a commitment. I don't see any emotions involved in this. It's more like, okay, I'm this age, because he's 36, right? It's more like, okay, I'm 36, I need to get married. We're dating, so I might as well. And she's going to feel, and I did say this, now I'm just remembering, she's going to feel like she's going to be put in the position that she's going to have to break up with him because she feels placed second because he's too focused on other things. Page of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles. Like I said, I want her to be happy. I want love for her. But sometimes, I've been engaged twice. I didn't get married, and sometimes it just happens like that. That you're happy for that moment, and then reality starts to set in. That do I actually see myself with this person? Like, marriage is serious. Is it for real? Are we going to be together? So after the celebrations, all of that, then comes reality. And the reality is, I don't see much emotional love here. Page of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. I think he has been consistent with her enough that she has gone along for it. And I always say this about Sun and Cancers. Sun and Cancers, God bless them, they really struggle in love. Really struggle. They're the sun sign that struggles the most in love because they give everybody the benefit of the doubt and they put themselves last. So one day they realize, hey, this person's put me last and I'm not happy with it. That's what I see happening is that he's very money focused. He's very good at money. Whatever he does, he's a producer, right? But I see he's got generational wealth. He's very, very wealthy, his family. And it's the kind of money that's long, but he wants to keep it running. I think he feels this pressure to keep the money rolling. His parents probably have told him, hey, when are you getting married? He is not ready for marriage. He's the kind of person who'll only be ready when he's like 50 for marriage. And if that's how long it takes him to be married, then that's what it is. We can't force people to get married because it's a certain age. And he is not ready for marriage. Nowhere close. She might be, I think she is, but he's not. And she's going to be put in a position where she has to break up with him because he's going to start disappearing. He's going to start acting up, not because, and that's a big thing that we have to realize as partners, men and women and men, that just because somebody acts a certain way in a relationship doesn't mean it has anything to do with you. Just because they disappear on you, ghost on you, cheat on you, lie to you, oftentimes it's not personal. It's just the person's character or their childhood trauma, things that have happened to them that they haven't dealt with. And sometimes you just have to walk away, acknowledge it, and let it go. And I see her having to do that. She's going to have to do that in the next year or two. So Tyler says, how did I miss that? Penelope's like they're engaged. So how did I miss that? It happened like last week, right? Or something like that. It was around Christmas time. And everybody was on Christmas holiday, which I find very interesting too. They announced it on Christmas. I love Selena Gomez. Again, I love her too. I don't know her, but her energy is just very. She has very good energy. Very good energy. I know some people don't like her because they say she's a mean girl. I don't see her being a mean girl, but I could be wrong. It's Hollywood. That's why I don't. I used to be such a big fan of Cameron Diaz, and I met her. I was so turned off. She was so rude to me, and I was just like, okay. So after that, and after interactions with different celebrities that I used to love, and now I can't even watch. I don't have Bradley Cooper was another one of them. Leonardo DiCaprio I don't really like. I didn't have that much of an opinion about him, and then I met him, and I was like. So oftentimes I'm very neutral. I know that celebrities can be very fake. So yeah. Motherly, yeah, she does give motherly. Sun and Cancers. I used to have issues with Sun and Cancers when I was younger. But the older I get, the more I understand emotions. I'm so drawn to Sun and Cancers. I feel like they can be so loving, so kind. The only problem is that when they get in these moods, sometimes they get in these moods, they're very tunnel focused on their emotions. And you try to bring them out of it, like crabs, they get into the little shell and you can't get them out. And it's like, okay, you have to try, you know, you just have to let them be. And when I was younger, I used to try to get them out of those moods, but you really just have to let them be. But they can be so loving. They can teach you a lot. Cancers, Cancer is one of my favorite signs, honestly. It's become one of the very loving, kind, supportive, and just like they have like this. They teach me how to love. So I love that. Okay, I'm about to end this live. I'm going to be starting members only live soon. We're going to be doing personal questions just for members. So those of you who are members in this chat, thank you for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. But I'm going to be doing the members only live. So if you're a member, you get to ask questions about situations you're going through. I do a general reading first, and then you ask questions. So I will be doing that very soon. Thank you everybody for joining. You can still watch it if you're not a member. You just can't ask any questions. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Tyler. I hope I'm saying your name properly. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Like last week, I was gonna record because I made a promise to myself that Christmas week I wasn't going to do anything because I've been running myself rampant. I've had a lot go on. 2024 was a very busy year for me, and I was like, I need to give myself a break. And I'm so glad I did because now I feel refreshed. But last week I really missed you guys, but I really had to. That's something I'm working on. It's giving myself a break when I need it because I can kind of overwork myself, and then I get to the point where I don't want to do anything anymore, and I just force myself, and I lack creativity. So I had to force myself to get some break. I'm so glad I did because now I feel refreshed. Okay, I'm glad I'm saying right. Have a good night. You too, Penelope. You're right. In some circumstances, I feel like in some circumstances we come first, and some, especially in relationships, sometimes the other person comes first too. So, but last week I came first. I watched Edward Scissorhands. I watched It Ends With Us. I watched a bunch of movies. I watched these Netflix movies, these Christmas Netflix movies, which I love. They were so fun. I don't even remember their names, but I just watched them. And it was great. And Edward Scissorhands is one of my favorite movies, so I'm glad I can remember. I remember the last time I watched it, I was a kid. I was a kid when I watched it. And I just remember that I loved it, but it's so emotionally draining that I was like, I need to watch it at some point because they put it on Peacock, and I have Peacock. But I was like, I can't watch it if I have to go to work, or I can't watch it. I'm doing something because I'm going to be emotionally pulled in that direction. So I remember the waterbed scene. If you haven't seen it, the spoiler alert. Well, he's on the waterbed. He obviously has scissors for hands. That's what they call it. It was for hands. And he's on the bed, and he starts like, oh my god, he starts cooking in the bed. And I remember when I was a kid, I bawled my eyes out watching that. And this time I felt empathy for him, but I wasn't that emotional, obviously, because I'm an adult now. But the art of acting is so powerful. I really feel like actors really go under. They're so underrated to be able to portray emotions like that, where the other person feels a certain way. He was so good in that movie. Johnny Depp did such a great job in that movie. And oh my god, it was like so emotional. I always get emotional when I watch it. That's why I save it. And Tim Burton. Tim Burton's a great director. I don't really like Beetlejuice. I saw the second Beetlejuice. I don't know if you guys thought about it. I didn't really like it. But I don't know. I also just like movies where the person is like the odd one out. I don't know. Like Wicked 2 was a great movie. I cried. I think Wicked is the best movie I've ever seen in my life, honestly. And I mean that with all my fiber being. That movie was phenomenal. Have you guys seen Wicked? It's really the best movie I've ever seen. in my life. Um, you said the Salted movie. Are you British, Penelope? I only ever hear British people say the Salted. Great movie, exactly. They were a great couple, duo to watch, 100%. Um, yeah, it was Wicked was great. Wicked was absolutely oh, it was. I'm telling you, the best movie I've ever seen. And I've been very critical of movies lately because I feel like they copy everybody else. It's the same thing over and over. It's like recycled stuff. But Wicked was the best movie I have ever seen in my life. And I actually want to go for my birthday. I wonder if Universal's going to be doing Wicked. I want to go for my birthday to see Wicked. I'm going to go for Harry Potter, but if Wicked's on, I'll see it too. So you have to see it pronounced. Oh, you are British. Yeah, I could feel assaulted. Yeah, but if you get a chance to watch Wicked, I highly, highly recommend it. Same thing with Edward Scissorhands, one of my favorite movies. You should talk. You should have a mini live to review movies and talk about. Sometimes I do. I did a review about Wicked and how it relates to astrology and how I feel very connected to. Um, what's her name again? Oh my god, how am I forgetting the main character? And it's my favorite movie. I relate a lot to the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's just so that movie is so powerful. I don't want to give it away for people that haven't seen it, but that movie, I did do a video about it, so check out my videos because I did do one about it. But it's very powerful, especially if you feel like the odd one out. As a Sun in Aquarius, my whole life I've always felt like the odd one out, because that's if you're an Aquarius, you know what I'm talking about. We just always feel different. We always feel strange, and it can either make us good people or make us the villain. And I see a lot of jaded Aquarius because they become victims and they blame everybody else for their lives not working out the right way. Yes, the outsiders. You're right. And you can't look at it like that. Same thing with Harry Potter. I just like movies that are about mysterious, sorcery, witches, uh, potions, spells. Always be my jam. Like I used to love the craft. I still love practical magic. I've seen that movie so many times too. I love witchy stuff. Hence why I'm a tarot reader. So yeah, guys, I'm about to end the live. Oh, thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the laughs. I'm so grateful for all of you. Next live, I'll start in like a minute because I'm not gonna take a break. Sometimes I take a break. I'm not gonna start it. I'm not gonna start too late. I'm starting like a minute. It's for members only. I'm gonna do a general reading. And then if you have any questions, members, feel free to ask. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, all of you who have subscribed. I'm so beyond grateful. I really love talking to all of you, and I hope you feel the same. Oh, thank you, Tala. I really appreciate it. What's the origin of your name, Tala? I find it so fascinating. I love like different names. I have a different name. I don't necessarily like, specifically a different name. It's just I like to hear people's stories of how they have that name. Um, yeah, and what it means to them. I was named after Tallahassee, like Florida. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Like Brooklyn. I wanted to call my child Brooklyn someday, but we'll see. I have different names also in the mix. But I do really like Brooklyn as a name. Anyways, we're on a tangent, guys. Okay, let me start the other live. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you're watching recap, I'm going to try to have timestamps. Sorry about the rambling if it's too much. Sometimes it's annoying, I know. But I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.